Hey everyone, Brad the Mechanic here. Today we're working on a 2001 Honda Odyssey. Customer was complaining of RPMs going up and down. Oh, what the hell? So they brought it in, and it's the IAC valve. I ran some codes on it, and so we're gonna get started on changing that. Don't have to jack the car up or anything, so I'm just going to get my safety glasses on and we'll get started. I'm going to apologize now for the wind because it's pretty windy today, but we're going to start off taking the 410 mil bolts off of there. We'll set this aside. And then we're going to take all these clips off all around here. And we're also going to take this air tube off, and then we're going to also be removing the throttle and kickdown cables here, or cruise control cables anyways. Kickdown, that's hasn't been on cars for forever, but we're going to get it popped off, and we'll show where this IAC valve is actually going to be. Alright, so in order to take these off, the throttle cables, and we are going to have to, okay, I'm trying to show you this is hard. So this goes in like this, and the tab for it to come through is just right here, so you have to bend this up in order to get it out. See, and you're just going to do the same thing to this one. Comes out. You'll just have to take my fucking word for it. Alright, so now I got a 10 mil down here to loosen the bolt that's holding on this baffle tube here. There's probably 100 different names for it, but yeah, this hose clamp is loose enough, so I'm going to pull this off, and then I'm going to pop it off right here and pull the whole thing out, but not after, or not before taking my needle nose, pinching these. Sometimes you can do it by hand and like they'll come out. So, but yeah, get these off. We have these off. We've unplugged these, and we're now going to take this intake tube off. Little tip, if these hoses don't want to come off, it's hard to see, but you grab it like this and get it to spin, and then they'll slide off once they can spin. If they're not spinning, they're not going to come off. So as you can see, that just came right off because we got it to spin after taking the... Alright, so after getting a little bit of coolant on myself, which it only leaked out just a tiny bit, so it's not that big a deal. After I got all the sensors unplugged here, there's like this coolant hose, this breather hose, this intake hose right here that goes around on the back, so you got to make sure you pop that off. We got these off, and we're gonna have to take these screws out once we get this off. So there's a couple 8 mils right here that I popped off, and this comes loose, and there's actually like a little vacuum hose right here, and this was attached to the side of the intake tube here. So we're going to remove this, and this will give us a little bit more room in order to get to this IAC valve, which is down here. So these plugs, or these plugs get ran into there, so sometimes you got to make sure. You can't just yank it out as much as you'd like to. Just yank her out. So now that we've got that, we're going to come in here and remove these two screws, these Phillips screws that are holding that on there. And if those don't come out, I might just unscrew it from here if these don't come out real easily, because I don't want to mess with these, because these might not come out. So we'll see. Because this bracket doesn't necessarily have to come off. I just got to take this whole throttle body off the vehicle to make it a little bit easier to do the job. So with that, I'm going to start trying to take this bad boy off. So you got some of these lines and these wires that are connected via these clips onto this. There's a hole right here, and this goes through. So what you do is get back behind there and pinch them. Pinch it closed with your vise or with your needle nose, and it'll get them right out. That way you don't have to break them, and you can actually reinstall them. You can kind of demonstrate a little bit how this works. You squeeze them, and then oof, goes through. I'm doing that so I can get a little bit more slack here in order to get good amount of room up in here. Because I'm going to actually try to not take this off and get these out, but if I have to, I'll have to take this off. So the IAC valve is actually bolted on underneath here. So I did take these off. These two Phillips head screws actually came out pretty nicely. I did take the screwdriver, and when I put it in there, I tapped it a few times just to try to loosen it up a little bit. They came out pretty easily. I didn't strip any of the screws. So now we're going to take these. They look like 12 millimeters right here. And there's 4 of them. And we're going to pop them off, but we're going to have to remove all these little hoses that are coming up to it. So we'll get these off and then start popping these off. Just breaking them all loose here. It's interesting to do one-handed with the camera in your hand. I want to set it up, but it's too gosh dang windy. Can we see down there? There we go. Now always make sure your dang stuff's straight. Don't be putting any pressure on it if it's crooked, because one thing about working on cars is you have to know how to not fuck it up when you're taking it apart. Because anybody can put bolts on and take them off. But it's when you come into the little problems that take that little bit of extra knowledge in order to not create more problems for yourself. That's what really being a good mechanic is. That's why you don't have to go to school to become a good mechanic, even though I recommend it. But you can do it just by doing it and learning. Listen to the old timers. They know what they're talking about. They've taught me so much. So I'm going to do the rest of this by hand, and then I'm going to pop this off, but I'm going to use both hands. Let me see if I can set this camera down. I'm going blind back here. Okay, what do we have here? Some long studs. Oh, looks like this is still, oh no, I took that off. Okay, we're good. So, yeah, this is just on the studs. So, I'm going to tap it very lightly on a metal can see I'm not really reefing down too tight on these bad boys. I'm just getting them snug. And we'll call her good. Obviously you don't want it loose, but okay, so we're gonna put these back on here. Let's see if we can get this out of the way for you. Is that better? Alright. So get these on here. Get these clamps back on. I always try to put them where they weren't before, so that they hold just a little bit tighter, because when they go in the grooves, if you think about it, it's kind of like it's a little bit more loose. So I try to put them on, but just a skosh from where they were originally, so that it holds extra tight, because these things don't like to hold on forever. I like my X. Okay, so we got these. I'm just trying to go in a good order here. We got the EGR all plugged back in. We'll actually plug in the IAC valve now. That's in there. Got the map, or not the map, but got some clips here. And then we got this coolant hose down here. Don't want to go in the right way. There we go. Now you can wake. Okay, there we go. Turn it a little bit. Okay, got that on there. We're gonna grab this air box here. And let's see if we can see what's going on over here now. Make sure that's on there nice. This over air filter. There we go. I'll get the ratchet to put that all back together here in a minute. We'll get this coolant hose, or I mean this air hose. It's connected to a coolant hose down here, but this isn't coolant that's coming in here, obviously. Okay. Alright. Got that in there. We got a few hoses like this bad boy and this bad boy. So this down here, and this was attached through here to here. So as you can see, that routed into these things that are on the airbox here. So now we're going to take, well shit, I kind of fucked up. I didn't put these on yet. So I'm going to have to pull this off and then put this on. So remember to put this on first before putting the airbox on. Alright, I tried to get this so that I could show you how this works. See this little tab right here? How it goes up? Or I mean it's cut out. So this goes in there. But it's got to be at an angle so that this cable goes through that tab. It's hard to do with the camera on it, but I wanted to kind of show you because it can be a pain. There we go. And get it like that. And as you can see now, it's ran in there properly. See? Okay, cool. While you're putting it back together, you can put everything back together the right way. This battery cable, this ground, or no, it's actually a positive. This goes under here. You see this? I don't know if you can really see that hook with the sunlight, but it goes under there. So then I'm going to get this put on. Now that I have the screws on there and everything tight, I'm going to put this on. This is a 12 mil under here. So I'm going to tighten that for the, or actually a 10 mil for the hose clamp, and then that'll get that thing on there. All right, so we got the 8 mils, 10 mil, all the plugs plugged back in, and we're going to go ahead and try to start it. All right, so we're in the car. We're going to see how it starts. Nice. Nice and smooth. Yeah, it used to be when I would hit the gas, yeah, it would just stay up. Heck yeah, buddy. Alright, so thanks for watching. You don't have to like or subscribe. I just want you to fix your shit. So, go out there and fix it. Alright? See you next time.